His parents insisted that he marry Abel's twin, Achlia. The text claims that this conflict over marriage led to Cain murdering his brother. The second book details the pre-flood history of the warring families of Seth and Cain. It contains fantastical elements, such as the claim that the earth initially rejected Abel's body, forcing Adam and Eve to keep it in their cave for 7 years. The text also contradicts biblical accounts, particularly in its description of both Cain and Abel offering sacrifices of blood and grain, whereas the Bible specifies that Cain offered grain while Abel offered an animal sacrifice. The Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs is another pseudepigraphal work that claims to record the final words of Jacob's 12 sons. It was written during the intertestamental period and later edited by Christians. Each patriarch reflects on his own sins and virtues while offering moral teachings for future generations. Reuben warns against lust, Simeon repents for his jealousy, and Levi speaks of the dangers of pride. Judah, Dan, and Gad emphasize the need to avoid drunkenness, anger, and hatred, while Issachar and Zebulun encourage simplicity and charity. Joseph and Benjamin focus on purity, particularly in resisting temptation, while Joseph being held up as an example of chastity. The Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs provide insight into Judeo-Christian ethics of the time. The Odes of Solomon is a collection of Christian hymns written in the late 1st century CE. Although unrelated to the Psalms of Solomon composed around 60 BCE, these odes express key elements of Christian faith, helping worshippers memorize doctrines through their poetic form. While some scholars question certain details and suggest possible Gnostic influences, the text does not explicitly promote heresy. Notably, the hymns depict the Trinity, demonstrating an early Christian belief in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Their connection to early Christian figures like Ignatius of Antioch reinforces the historical foundation of Trinitarian theology. The Letter of Aristeas is an ancient text that tells the story of how the Hebrew Bible, specifically the Torah, the first 5 books, was translated into Greek. According to the letter, this translation occurred during the reign of King Ptolemy II, who wanted a Greek version for his famous library in Alexandria. Ptolemy sent a request to the Jewish high priest in Jerusalem, asking for scholars to assist with the translation. 72 scholars were chosen, 6 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, and they completed the translation in 72 days, producing what became known as the Septuagint. The Letter of Aristeas portrays good relations between the Greek and Jewish communities, but most scholars consider the story more of a legend than actual history. The story of Ahikar is an ancient Near Eastern text believed to have been written in the 5th or 6th century BCE. It tells the story of Ahikar, a wise and trusted counselor to the Assyrian kings Sennacherib and Esarhaddon.